Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's open Revit file. Okay, so yes, so open Revit 2018. Right, so this is our model, test 6. Just click on that. Okay, so in last session we saw how to create the drawings. So if you see, we have created the four number of drawing. S01, it's for base plan, then S02, it's for roof plan, then elevation, and last is elevation second drawing. So okay, so you need to give annotation and each and every dimension, set out dimension for these louvers. Okay, so today we are going to see how to create a schedule. Okay, so we know if you see this drawing, so here is a C1. So what is the size of C1? Okay, then if you go here, you can see here R1. What is the R1? And what is the size of R1? What is the size of BR1? Okay, so you need to create a schedule. In that case, in that you need to give a mark first, C1, then size. Okay, and then description, comments, whatever. So let's see how to add the schedule. So before going that, so you need to go here and select your column. First of all, select your column. Once you select, so go to here, edit type. So click on that. So initially we have add here type mark as a C1, right? So in description we can add here what is the C1. C1 is our column. So what I do, I will add here column. And in type comments, okay, in this edit tab, in type comment I will add here still schedule, still SCH. So those factor you need to add each and every member. Okay, so I have added here description. What is the C1? C1 is a column, so I have added column in description tab, and type comments is still schedule. So I want to create a still schedule. This C1 I want to include in still schedule, so that's the reason I have given here type comments still schedule. So say apply and okay, so it is applicable to all columns. Okay, so if you go here, similarly for C2, so go to here edit type, and you need to add again here a description. What is your C2? It's your our column. So you need to add a column here, right? And same comment here, type comments, still schedule. So if you, we have already added here. So if you type yes, so it's add here. Say apply and okay. So two we have two types of column. C1, C2. So similarly, you need to add the Raptor R1. So click here and click here edit type and go to here. So you can see type mark is R1. Then in description, you can add here Raptor. What is R1? So R1 is our Raptor. And similarly, type comments, I will add here still schedule. Okay, and say apply and okay. Then similarly for this P1. Okay, so what is our P1? P1 is our Perlin. So edit type. So you can see type mark is P1, and in description you need to add here Perlins. So I will add here Perlins. So P1 is our Perlin. Then here type comments, I will keep here same still schedule. Say apply and okay. Okay, so P1 is also done. Then you have one more here. Okay, so if you go to the elevation, so you can see the all the members. Yeah. So here, so these are all P1, and what is this? This is our G1, right? Right. So click here and say edit type, and this is our G1, and in description you can add here side girds, or you can say side girds, GIRTS, side girds, and type comments. You can add steel schedule and say apply. Okay. So P1 is done, G1 is done, then B1 is also we need to add. So click on that. B1 is our SHS, 100 by 100 by SHS. So B1, what is the B1 here? So you need to add in description beam, right? And in type comments, you can add steel schedule. Apply and okay. So you need to cover all the members, right? So here, okay, so if you go again in a best plan, so yes, so we have C3 also. So click on that and go to edit type, and in C3 in description you can add again column, and type comments is steel schedule. So C3 is also our column. So make sure all the members you have covered. Okay, so yeah, BR1 is remaining. So click on that BR1, click here, edit type, go to here, BR1, and in description, what is the BR1? BR1 is our bracing, right? And you can add the type comment as a steel schedule. So this bracing I want to include in steel schedule. That's the reason I want to add type comment steel schedule. Okay, apply and okay. Okay, so I hope every members we have covered. Okay, so go to here base plan. So I want to add the schedule here. Okay, so go to here view, right? So once you click on view, so you have option here schedules. So click on that and say material takeoff. Okay, so this box is appear. So this is multi-category. Okay, so I want to create a schedule for multi-category column, beam, then purlin, rafter. Okay, so I will choose this multi-category column and beams is a multi-category, right? And say here okay. Once you click here, so these are all available fields. So you need to add those things, right? So first of all, suppose I want to go to here paint. My schedule is looks like okay. So this is okay. So suppose this is my table and this is one line and this is okay. So this is you can say here mark. Okay, mark in C1, C2, whatever. Then here size. So what is the size for C1? So you can add here. And then here comments. Okay, so this type of tabular form we need to add. Okay, so first of all, you need to add here type mark. Why? Because these three field we need to cover here. For example, if I click on this column, okay, so I want to add these three fields: type mark, description, and type comments. Okay, so on the with the help of three category, we can create a schedule as per our requirement. So go to again view, click here schedule, and click here take off material take off multi category is okay, and go to here. So you can see here type mark. So first is my type mark. So add here, then type, right? So this type means our size. Okay, so add this. Then we have added description. Okay, so if you go here description, so you can see here description. So click on in and just insert the description. Then we have add steel schedule mean type comment. So I want to add here type comments, right? And then we need to add one more material name. So which material we need to create a takeoff. So you need to add this material name means steel or concrete. Then add here. Okay, so once you add those things, right? So you can just remove. Suppose if you want to remove here, so you can just click on red. Suppose I want to remove this material name, so select this material name and click on red. Okay, opposite, if you want to add in this your schedule field, so you can just add a green tab. So you can add here. Suppose if you want to move this material name above, so you have option here. So just click, just click, just click. Okay, so material name is going up. So you can adjust each and every fields up and down as per your requirement. Suppose this material field I want to set at the last. So click and just set here. Okay. So once you add those things, so click here. Okay. So you can see here material your schedule has been created. Whatever we have given here, right? So you can see all those things covered here. So here, which material you can see here? Steel 45 345. So these are all steel. Then this is a material light gauge. Then this is a bracing steel ASTM A36. Then you can see here 25 thick concrete metal sheet. Okay, so this is metal sheet is added here. So all steel related items added here. But I don't want to add all those things. I want to only this C1, C2, whatever we have given the steel schedule in comments. Okay, so I want to filtered this one. So you can see I have added steel schedule. Those where whenever I have added the steel schedule, I want to keep those fields or keep those items on my schedule. So how to filter? So once you add your fields, so click here. You have option here. So click here, edit. So you can edit this again. Okay. So once you okay with that, so you can sort. You can just editing this fields. So in field tab, there are one, two, three, four, five tabs. Okay. So we will see the same thing here. Okay, so once you add your fields as per your requirement, click on filter. Right. So I want to give the filter here. So how to give? So I have added here one node. Type comments. Okay, if you remember, I have added the steel schedule comment in type comments for each and every member. Those member I want to add in schedule. So what I do, I will just set here formula. Type comments equals to steel schedule. So wherever I have added the steel schedule, just show only those items in schedule. And suppose if I click here OK, so you can see only steel schedule you can see here, right? Then another thing here C1, 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 C1. So four types of C1. Here also three types of C1. You can give one type here, right? So you don't need to give C1 multiple at a multiple times. Okay, we will give here C1 at a one times because our on our drawing C1 represent type mark and we need to just provide the same size here. All C1s is the same size. So don't show at the multiple times. So you need to show at one times. How to modify this? So go again edit type. So fields is done. Filter I have apply here. Then sorting and grouping here. Okay. So if you go here and say type mark. Okay. So type mark means B, C, D alphabetical can take here. Okay. So I will add here sorting by type mark. So suppose B1 is first come, then C1, C2, then P1 below. Okay. So you can sort add here sorting and by ascending. So first letter come B1, then C1, C2, C3, then P1, then G1, then after that P1. Okay, and suppose if I click here, okay, so you can see P1, then BR1, then C1, C2, C3, then G1, and last one is P1, and last is R1. R1 is Raptor. But I don't want to show again. So how many we have B1? 1, 2, up to here, B1. I don't want to show because you can see the same size and same description. Okay, so you can itemize this. Okay, how to itemize? Go to again here, edit, and click here, sorting grouping. So you have option here, itemize every instances. So untick this option and say okay. Right, so you can see B1 is showing one only one times, right? B1, then B2, BR1, right? Then C1, C2, C3, all those you can see here. Okay, then type is our size. Okay, so what is the size for B1? It's 100 by 100 by SHS. What is the description? B1, and this is type comment, and this is the material name. Go again here, edit type. So we have here itemize, and suppose if you want to add the grand total. Okay, so grand total you can set here. Okay, so if you click here and then suppose I want to add here totals only and say apply. Okay, so I will just go again and add here titles, count and totals and say okay. So you can see total 116 numbers here. Okay, if you don't want to give totals, so untick this. Then formatting. Okay, so before going that, I want to show you how to insert this schedule. So this schedule is already added here. So if you go here on this project browser test, so you can see this schedule is added here. You can rename this. So click on that and just right click and say rename. You can give the name steel member schedule, SCHDULE. Okay, schedule, and say okay. So you can see your name is appear here. And suppose if you go your drawing, so this is my drawing, I want to paste here. So just simply drag on your drawing. So you can see I have added this schedule, right? But you can see this schedule is not proper here. Means this is just small letter and all those things. Okay, so you can edit this or you can format this. Then you can see this BR1 is not placed exactly at the middle, and then this gap is also come here. Okay, so you can edit this. So if you double click on that schedule, so you can edit this. So go here, edit, and click here formatting. So you can see this is type mark, first type mark. But I don't want to give here type mark. I want to give type mark in capital or only mark. Okay, so you can just edit here. So caps on and just say mark. Okay, and this alignment you can see horizontal and left alignment here. So say here center. Okay, and say okay. So you can see your mark has been changed here, and these also come exactly at the center. Similarly you can give, so instead of type I will give here size. So go here sorting, sorry, formatting, and same click on type, right? And instead of type I want to add here size. Then alignment is also in center, right? Then similarly for description, so description I want to keep as it is, but it should be in capital D. Description, I will just write this description in capital. Okay, and say okay. Then similarly type comments, what is the type comments? Schedule, right? So if I go here and if you check your schedule how it looks, so oops, so again go here and description say here center. Okay, and if you go here on your drawing, so you can see your schedule is modify here. So mark, size, description, then type comments and this material name. But these type comments I don't want to show here because I have added for filtered filter. Okay, so you can hide this. So how to hide? Just double click again, go to here formatting and click here type comments. So this is your type comments. Okay, so this is your type comments. I don't want to show this row on my schedule. So you have option here hidden field. So click on that hidden field. Okay, and say apply. And if you check, so you can see this description is sorry, type comments is not appear on your script. Then if you want to take this material name, so you can take. So if you go and say material name, so you can just uh, add in capital material name. Mm, right? And the same thing in center. If you check again on your drawings, so your schedule has been changed here. Okay, so you can see this is your schedule. So mark is B1, BR1, C1, C2. If you add B2 and if you add the uh, steel schedule, so it's automatically added. Then this is size, then description, and this material name. Okay, so you can see this is the gap here. So you can edit this again. Go again, and last is, so once you formatting, and last option is appearance. Okay, so right. So if you go here and you have option here in appearance. So blank the row before data. I don't want to give the blank here. So this option is on. That's the reason is this row is appear here. Suppose I want to untick this and say, okay. So you can see this row is disappear. Similarly, if you go here, so these are all your grid lines, right? So you can choose any lines. Suppose I want to choose medium lines for this table. Then outer lines also we have option here. So suppose I will choose the medium line, and then text here. So these are three text here. Title. So this is your main title. Then header, and then body text. Body text is normal. So you have option here. So suppose I want to give this main text is big. So I will set here 5 mm, and remaining this mark size and body text I will keep as it is as per my standards 3 mm Arial, right? And say okay. And if you look at on your drawing, so you can see this text is looks bigger because I have assigned the 5 mm height, right? So you can see. Okay, so once you added your schedule, and sometimes if you add some B2 here, so you have, suppose you have added B2, B3. Okay, so how to add automatically in this schedule? Okay, so suppose I want to go here, uh, roof, roof plan. So if you go here, so this is our roof framing plan. Okay, and B2, sorry, B1 we have used. So if I click here, so what is the B1 size is 100 by 100 by SHS. So something I uh, I will use again two or three different types of beam. So click structural and beam. Okay, so if you see here, so these are different types of beams here. So if you go SHS, 100 by 100 by SHS we have used. Okay, so suppose I want to use different beam. So universal beam we have used as a after this one. Okay, so this I want to use this 356 as a beam. Suppose I want to add a beam here. Okay, so the one beam I have added, and again 406. So two beam I have added here. So what is the size here? 356. So if you check on your schedule, so what is the size for the Raptor? We have used 305. Okay, so if you go again and suppose this is my B3, sorry, B2. Okay, so click here and click here edit type. You need to assign here mark type your B2, then description your B beam here, because this is if you use Raptor, so you can add Raptor. Okay, and one more we have option type comments. So you can see here type comments, you can add steel schedule and say apply. Elements have duplicate type mark values. Okay, type mark. I think we have already B2 elements. Okay, I will check. Okay, so what is the R1 size is 305. What is this 356? 406. Okay, we have used B2, I think. I will check in elevation. Yeah. So you can see this B2 we have already added here, but not comes in schedule. Why? Because we haven't add here description. So let's see. Let's add description as a beam, right? And type comments. Type comments. I will add here steel schedule and say apply and OK. Then after that, I will assign the B3 for this column. Sorry, beam. So edit type. Then if you go here and say type mark, I will add here B3. Right, and in type comments steel schedule, and in description this is my beam, so I will add a beam and say apply and OK. Okay, so suppose this is my R2 raptor, so I will assign here type mark is R2, then description is raptor, and type comments I will add here steel schedule, apply and OK. So three types it's add automatically in our schedule. So let's go on schedule, so you can see B2 is automatically added. Why? Because I have add those parameter as per this schedule. Then you can see B3 also added and R2 also added. Okay, so you can control this schedule. Okay, suppose I don't want to show here R2. Similarly, you can go and just edit type, and if you go here still schedule, just delete this. Okay, type comments and say apply and OK. And if you go again your schedule, so you can't see R2. Why? Because this schedule I have added the filter. Okay, type comments equal to steel schedule. So wherever I have added steel schedules, those member reflect in this schedule. Okay, so we can do this schedule. So the simple, you need to just practice on that. Then okay, so next is steel is done, and suppose this is our project. Okay, so what I do, I will just delete this bins. Okay, so all steel we have covered here. So this is my base plan. In this base plan, you can see the location of this column base plate. Okay, and then roof plan. All roof framing you can cover here. Then elevations. So elevations you can cover and give the all annotation as per our requirement. Right, then similarly you can create a concrete sheet. Okay, concrete sheet for, so if you go here base plan, so we have already set this base plan, so you can just right click and say duplicate. Okay, and say duplicate only. If you go with duplicate with detailing, so all the annotation and it comes here, so say duplicate. Okay, so this is your plan, and then you can just rename here and right click and say floor plan. Floor plan, so this is my floor plan. So initially we have shown only steel member in dark and concrete is half uh, gray, so you need to opposite now, right? So right click and go here override graphics by elements, so untick this half tone. Okay, so you can see dark line. Similarly, if you go here by category and okay, so I think, so right click element and remove the half tone. Okay, so I think I have select the element. So you need to select all the planes elements and then untick this half tone. Okay, and then you need to select all the columns and go here by select by category and say half tone. All the columns you need to set in a half tone, even base plate also, because I want to show only concrete. Okay, so select all the base. Sorry. Okay, so grout I will keep as it is because this is the concrete items. Then again, you need to give all the dimensions, grid to grid dimension, whatever we have given in steel base plate plan. Okay, so give all the dimension, then you can give the total dimension also. total dimension of your slab. Then here you can show all the dimension, grid to grid dimension, right? Like that. Then you need to give again full dimension, your X and Y dimension for this slab. Then you need to give this plinth dimension also, right? So you can give the typical, okay, so this is my 200 by 200 from the grid B. Then you need to give the dimension in this direction also, right? Like that. Whatever your dimension you can add here. So if suppose this dimension is applicable to all plinth, so you can just click on that dimension, then add here typical. Okay, so this is also typical. So you don't need to give each and every plinth if your plinth is same. Otherwise, if the plinth shape is different, so you can give the separate dimension for that, right? Okay, so we have added all set out dimension for this plane. Then you need to add the slab thickness. So type TG tagging. Okay, so you can see we have added 200 thick slab. Sorry, 300 thick slab. So remove this leader. Then you need to go annotation and click here spot elevation. So you should give the elevation of this slab. So we have added here. So this is his sections, but in plan we don't need to show like that. Okay, so I will duplicate this, edit type, duplicate, and I will see here TOC plan. Okay, so TOC in plan we don't need to give any symbol. So set here none and say here we have already added here TOC text indicator. So elevation indicator. Okay, so yeah, so you can add here TOC top of concrete. So you can see, right? Then again, I want to add the precision here. So go here and you have units format here. So untick this millimeter and I want to give 3 decimal places. Okay, apply and okay. So this is my TOC and remove the leader and you can just place here. Okay, then similarly you can give the TOC for this plane. Okay, so this plan is cut exactly at the 0.00 level. That's the reason it's not taking top of plane. So what we need to do, you need to go here view range. Okay, so here is the view range 0. That's the reason we are not able to see. So just add here 5 and minus 500. Oops, yeah, this is above. Yeah, you can add here 1 meter and I will add here 5 and say apply. Okay, what happened? 500. Right here I will add here 1 meter, apply and okay. Okay, and if you go here annotation and spot elevation, so you can add here. So this is your TOC. Remove your leader, then you can place. So you can, so our top of slab is 0 and this is TOC 300. It means our slab plane thickness is 300. You need to give all the thickness here, create similar, you can add. Okay, you can add here, then also here, then also here, and then also here. After that you can just set as per your requirement. Okay, so this is your plan. Then you need to give again, okay, so this still member you can hide. So select and right click by category and you can, okay, so select this, right click, you need to go here hide view in view by category. So all the beams you can't see here. I want to show only columns in halftone. Okay, so this is your plan. So once your plan is ready, so you need to create a new sheet. So say here new and say here okay S05, and you can add here floor slab. All right, so this is your floor slab, and then you have already created here floor slab plan, so just drag it right here. Okay, so this is drawing for concrete floor slab. All concrete information you can add here. Then similarly, you can add the nodes here, concrete related node. So we know how to add. Okay, so S01, S02, you can just duplicate here and say duplicate with detailing, and you can give the name here as 05 nodes S05. Whatever you can just add here your notes as per your requirement, and then you can place this S05 notes here also. Okay, so you can see, then if you go and say no title. Similarly, legend you can add, create the legend as per your requirement. So S01, okay, you can duplicate here, right click and say duplicate with detailing, and then give the legend for A05. Okay, so this is my plan drawing. And suppose I want to add one section here. So you can add a section. Okay, so section we have hide here. So click on this bulb here. So if you go below, click on that. So section marks we have hide here. So right click and say unhide by category. And okay, so there are lot of section mark, but I want to keep only this section mark because this section mark I have used for the elevation. So you can hide by element. So select those section mark you don't want to keep here by multiple option. Just press the control and you can multiple select. Right click and say hide and say element. If you select category, so your section is also hide. So select element. I want to keep only one section. So because this section I want to represent in my drawing. Okay, so I will keep this up to here and say go to view. So this is my section. Okay, for the concrete. So this is section 5. Right. So what I do, right click and say I will give here name section dash A. So this is my section A. So first of all, set your scale. Okay. So what is the scale for plan is 50, 1 is to 50. So same you can set 1 is to 50 for section also. Okay. But I don't want to show any section mark, hide by category. But in this section, I want to show only concrete, not this steel. Okay, so hide all labels. Okay, hide all reference lines. Right, and then adjust this viewport up to here. Okay, I want to show only concrete part, not steel part, because steel part I have already covered. Okay, so yes, but you can see here some steel parts. So you can just select and show in half tone and say by element and say half tone, right, like that. So this is your slab. Then you can just pick up this grid lines above, right? So these are all grid lines. Okay, so this is your section. So if you want to add one more section as per your requirement in this direction, so you can add. So I want to add this section A on sheet. Where is my section? Yeah, but this section is not fit. Okay, so if you create number of sections 1, 2, 3, 4, so don't add here. So this drawing is only for plan. So you need to click. You need to create a new drawing. So sheet, right click on sheet, new sheet. Say OK, and you can add here section drawings. All right, and we have already created section A. You can just drag. Right, so you can see we have added the section A. Right, then similarly you can add a section B, C, D, sorry, 1B, C, D as per your requirement. Okay, so this is my section, right? Then you can change this fine and hidden lines. Okay, so I want to show the concrete hatch here. So right click on this slab and say by category, and you have option here cut patterns. Okay, and say here you can assign the color. So I will assign color this one. Okay, then say here okay. Then you need to assign the pattern. If you want to show in solid form, so you can show the solid form like that. Or if you want to show the concrete hatch, so you can show here. Select by category and cut patterns, and in patterns here, and you can select the concrete pattern. Where is concrete? Yes, so here sand dense. Where is the concrete? Yeah, concrete here, and say apply. Okay, so you can see concrete. We can see here, right? Then if you go again by category, if your concrete looks very faint, so you can change this color. Suppose I want to set this color and say okay, apply and okay. So you can see it looks dark, right? Then you need to give the dimension each and every slab. So this is my 150 thick slab, right? And this is 300 thick slab, right? Then you can add the top of concrete again here in section here, but this is top of concrete in plan, so you can change in section. Okay, so this is your top of concrete in section. So this is your 0.0. Right click again, say create similar. So this is your TOC 300. You can adjust this. Okay, so all annotation you can give here, right? Then as per your requirement, if you want to add section 2, 3, 4, whatever, so you can add. So this is our viewport line, viewport frame line. So you can see, right? So you can adjust as per your requirement. Then suppose I want to add here soil excavation profile in 2D, not in 3D. Okay, so once you've done all your annotation, so in annotation I want to add here text and say here footpath slab, right? So this is my footpath slab, right? And you can add. Okay, so all annotation related information you can add here. Then I want to add some profile here because you need to give the excavation profile below this. So before going that, you need to add the polythene sheeting. Okay, so type DL. So detail lines. So you can use the hidden lines. So you have option here, hidden lines, and just add here 50 mm. Okay, so you can see this is hidden line. So I want to add this as a just represent is a polythene sheeting. Okay, similarly, say create similar and say 50, and you can add here and here also, and then trim this. Type TR, and your polythene sheeting should be stop here, right? Then similarly here, so select and then mirror at the opposite direction, right here, and then again trim this. Then after that, you need to add the blinding concrete, 50 blinding concrete. Okay, so you can use this region option. So say fill region. If you have already created, so you can use, otherwise you can create here. Edit type and say duplicate and say here 50 thick blinding concrete hatch. Okay, and say here okay. Then you need to set the hatch first. So blinding concrete, I will use this sand dense. Okay. Say here okay, and all background it's okay and okay. Then you need to add the your blinding concrete. So use this rectangle, and you just start from up to here. Okay, so this should be same gap. So what is the gap? 45 mm. So just move by 5 mm below. I want to give 50 mm, right? And this thickness also 50 mm. So this is 104. So I want to give 50 mm. So this is my blinding concrete below this slab, right? And say here, okay. So you can see this blinding concrete hatch is added here, right? Similarly, you can add here also below this footpath slab, right? So it should be come up to this line. Similarly, here also, right? Or you can just show to the polythene sheeting. Yes, up to here. Then right click and say create a similar, or you can copy this. Okay, so just copy CO and select, and then add here, and say just move down by 50 mm. Then you can edit this, edit boundary. So this line should be, just pick this line and then add here, right here, like that. Say here, okay. So this blinding concrete below this. Similarly, you can select and then mirror opposite direction, like that. Okay. So blinding concrete and uh, polythene sheeting we have shown here. Suppose I want to add the excavation here. Okay. So go again, region, annotation, and say region, and click here fill region. You can edit and say duplicate, and you can say here engineered fill, right? And say okay, and you can choose cross line. Your engineered fill is showing in diagonal line here. Okay, so what I do, I will use this 1.5 and say okay. Then you need to add the profile. So just consider below this slab of the bottom slab is 1 meter. So what I do, I will add a 1 meter offset. Okay, so this is my excavation. Then from here also 1 meter, right here. And then this is in 45 degree, right? So this is my 45. Okay, then you need to give the hatch here up to here. So use this, and your ground should be 50 mm below your footpath. 50, yeah, just consider 50 mm, right? Up to here, and then just trim this line, right? And this profile is going below the your blinding concrete. So just complete this shape here, then here, and then here, then here, then here, and here. And this line I will mirror this line and this line, because both end is almost same, like that. Then you need to complete this shape, right? And complete. Okay, and say okay. So you can see we have shown this engineer field. Oops, I have selected wrong. Okay, so you can see, right? Then you can give the name engineered field. Right click and say here, if you have material name, so you can give, otherwise you can give the engineered fill only. So engineer will decide which type of material we need to add, right? So, and then you can give the annotation, right? Then after that, if you don't want to show this border, once you set your section, so untick this option. So this border will be disappear. So this is your section A, right? So you need to create section B, section C, section D as per your requirement, right? Then you can give the sections here. So this drawing is your sections, and if any space here, so you can use for details. Okay, so for example, suppose I want to give the reinforcement details for this footpath and this main slab. Okay, but this scale is 1 is to 50. Suppose if I add the reinforcement in 2D here, so it's not clear visible. Okay, so you need to create in 1 is to 10, 20 or 25 scale for reinforcement, right? So how to create? You need to just blown up here. You need to create the blown up view. So double click and you have option here. So if you click view and you have option here call out, I will use these rectangle call outs and I want to add this up to here. Okay, like that. And suppose if I say and say go to view, so it's come here. Section A call out. So right click and say rename, and first of all you need to give detail one, right? So you can see those part you can see only as per this profile. So this part you can see here. So I have opened a lot of windows. Okay, I will just go again and say go to view. So this view, but the scale is 50, but I don't want to increase. So what I do, I will increase set 1 is to 50. Then this steel part I want to cover into this half tone, right? And this is my detail one. Okay, so if you want to keep this grid, so you can keep, right? Then you need to add the break line here, because I don't want to show whole slab. I want to show only detail blown up. Okay, so add the here. I think we have, you need to add the break line. So click here, insert, load family, and go to the annotation. And you need to check where is the grid line. Sorry, break line. So this is not here. I will check in architectural. No. Okay, I will check in detail items. Okay, in general, yeah. In detail items, in general tab, you can add the grid lines. Sorry, break line. And if you go here, component and say place component. Oops, not in place component. Okay, structural annotation, symbols. I will check here. No, here is also no grid lines. Okay, I will check in. Okay, components. Okay, go to the annotation. Yeah, in component and say detail components. Okay, so you can add the grid lines. So you need to go here, annotate component, and click here detail component. So this is my break line. Okay, so click and you can just press the space bar. You can rotate in 360-degree. And if you modify this, just extend this, then extend this, right? So this is your break line. I want to show only this part. Okay, I want to keep this detail view on section on my drawing. Okay, so here, so I want to add here. So just drag here, right? So this is your detail one. Okay, so this is your detail one. So what I do, I will use here 1A, and I want to use here one. So this is my detail one. So you can see. Then you can see the view is big here. If you want to change the scale again, so you can change 1 is to 10. So you can see it looks big, right? So as per your requirement, you can give the scale. And then I want to add the reinforcement here. Okay, so double click. So if you add the reinforcement, you don't need to show any hatch, so just remove this hatch. Go here by element and just cut pattern and visible, untick for visible, and say apply and okay. Okay, I want to add the reinforcement here. So type DL. So if you have reinforcement lines here, so you can use, otherwise you can create. How to create? Go to the manage, right, and say here additional setting, and click here line styles. You can see whatever in this detail lines you can see here. Suppose I want to add a new line, so you can add and say rebar line. Okay, and say here okay. So you can give the thickness for this rebar line whatever as per requirement. Suppose I want to go with 5 and color is black is okay and solid. Apply and okay. Right, I want to add the rebar here. Okay, so what is the type DI? What is the thickness for this footpath? 150. What is the thickness for this slab is 300. Okay, and then you can add your reinforcement. So type DL, then choose your rebar. So you can see rebar line we have added. So I want to add here 50 mm because 50 mm is my cover, right? Like that. So this is 150 mm thick. So you need to give the only one layer. So just delete a layer, right? So this is my bar. Then you need to create the dot bar also. So how to create? Go to the annotation, then region and say fill region. Okay, and you can use this. We have already solid here. Okay, so I will use this and circle. I want to give just presentation is 10 mm is okay and say okay. But you need to select in solid form. So you we have already solid black. So convert and then you can just move here, right? And you can just mirror this, right? So and suppose the spacing is 300 or no sorry 200. So first of all you need to set what is the center to center distance by using by temporary dimension. So this is 865. Okay, so type calculator. Suppose 865 divided by 200. So five numbers you need to add. So 865 divided by 5. Spacing is 173. This is just indicatively, right? So copy, select, and just copy 173 and select. You can copy, add on this multiple, and then you can add. Okay, so this is your uh, slab reinforcement for this footpath. Similarly, you can add the reinforcement here. Okay, so rebar line is okay and cover is okay. So you need to add your cover. Then this is your bottom bar. Then this is your top bar and like that. Okay, and then you can just trim. I want to add the tool L bar. So just top and bottom. Just trim, right? Then you can show like that. If you I want to add the radius here. So click, right click, use create a similar, and you can use this option. Fillet arc. Select this line, and you can give the fillet. Suppose I want to give 15 radius. Similarly, you can choose both the lines and then you use this option. Fillet. Okay. So this is your top bar, this is your bottom bar. Then you can copy this dot bar and then add here also. Right. And then copy by 200. Then here also 200, then here also 200. All right, so select all the bars, then you can mirror above. So use this midpoint of this slab. Okay, so this is your top and bottom bars. Right, so this is my reinforcement. Then you can give the nomenclature here. So suppose this is my N12 200 each way, right? Each way bottom. So you can give the here text, add the leader, or I want to add the, yeah, right. So if you represent on both dot bar and straight bar, so you don't need to give this each way, right? Suppose if you give only one arrow on this, so you can give, but only say here bottom, because I want to I represent both the bars. Then you can use circle here like that. But this circle not in rebar line, it should be in thin lines like that. So like that. Similarly, you can use the reinforcement here. So I want to just copy. So CO, and then you can add here, right? And add the reinforcement here. And you can say here top and bottom, means this same is bottom, right? Then you can represent again, create similar. I want to add here IG. So here my isolation joint. Okay, and then this is the steel framing sheet. Okay, so you can say here uh, steel, or you can say metal sheet. Metal sheet refer to steel framing drawings or details. Okay, so you can add here. Okay, so yeah, right. So you can see, you can add this text refer to steel framing drawings. You can add the leader, and then you can give. Hmm. Okay, so you can cover all the information whatever you want to show here. Then another thing, this polythene sheeting and all those things, if you want to show, so you can just copy here. So select, then select this dotted line, then select this line and select and say Control C. Once you click here, so go to on your view and say here modify and say paste and this align to same place. So it comes automatically here like that. Okay. Then you need to increase this grid match line. Sorry, break line. Okay, and then adjust this text. You don't need to show again this engineered field here. You can add the note here. So if you don't want to show this border, so you can opt this, right? And then you can add here a note. Go to the annotation and say here, say note engineered fill not shown for clarity, right? So you can add the note here. If I add here, so our information is not see clear here, so that's the reason we can avoid this. So you can add your detail here. Okay, so similarly, so this is all related to your concrete. Then similarly in details, similarly for the base plate steel connection also, you can use the same thing. Suppose I will use the S07 for steel connection. So you can just use and say here connection details. Actually, this drawing should be in below the elevation, because your steel set is say one set, separate set, and concrete set is different. Okay, but you can just maintain. Okay, so okay, I will add this below this, and you can add here connection details, right? So what I do, I will make it this S07 concrete section, and floor slab I will make it S06. Okay, and this I will make it S05 steel connection details. Right, so you can see the sequence of this drawing. Right, so first of all, base plate. Suppose I want to give the base plate connection details for C1. The same thing. You can go here, view. You can use collaborate and say rectangle, and then you can add. Right, so right click and say go to view. Right, so you can see. Suppose connection detail I want to show 1 to 10. Right, you can adjust this. I don't want to show any steel here because I want to show only base plate here. Right, then where is your connection? Here. So this is my base plate. Then you can add here detail 1. Detail 1 for steel. Right, so you can add here, and then if you go on your drawing, so where you want to show this, so this is your S05, so this is your detail 1. Right, so you can add here, so this is your detail 1. Right, so this detail 1, you can say here typical column base plate for typical column C1 base plate. Okay, so if you go here, because I don't want to give each and every C1, because C1 condition is different here. So here is slab edge and here is slab edge. Then C1 here only left side slab edge. So you can create as a typical. Okay, so how to create? Okay, so if you go here, so you don't need to show this slab edge because it's different for different location. So I will hide this. Okay, then you can just see that. Okay, and then add your details. So this is base plate. Okay, and even you can hide this grid because our C1 is not at grid 4, it's add or different location. Right, then if you go here and say title. Okay, title no line. Okay, title with line. Okay, then you can see here, and then you can add your detailing here. So what detailing? So you need to add first your bolt connection, so use the center line. Okay, and then add a center line here. So this is your one center line, then copy this here also, then right click and say similar, create similar, and then you can add here also. Right, and then copy and then add here. Then you can add here base plate size. So this is your base plate size 335. Then you need to give the your bolt location, right, like that. So you can just move up again and then just clear. Okay, similarly you can add this dimension. So this is my base plate dimension 330. Then you can add, okay, like that. Then you can add here uh, bolt annotation. So you can say here 4 dash m16 bolts. You need to give the 8.8 strength. Okay, and say bolts. Then you can give the annotation, sorry, leader for this bolt, like that. Okay, so this is your bolt information. Then you need to add a tag here. So type TG. So TG is C1. Okay, so until remove this leader and you can add here. Okay, then right click and say here 25 thick non shrink grout, right? So this is my, okay, so this annotation is disappear. Why? Because annotation crop here. So untick this so you can see your annotation. So this line I want to just, and just add a leader for this on grout. So just click on that grout. Just your pointer should be on grout. Then right click and say here 25 thick base plate. So you need to give the base plate thickness. So this is your base plate, right? So just add X and Y dimension we have already covered. So you need to give the thickness also. So this is your base plate connection. Suppose I don't want to give this border, so you can hide this. Okay, so this is your detail one, and you can add the note here, and you can say here note typic. Okay, you can say column C1, C1 base split detail. Okay, so you wherever we have added the C1 column, so this detail is applicable for the C1 base plate. Then you can put here. Then similarly, you need to give the section. Okay, so add a section here because you need to show the anchors, the embedment length, and all those things. Okay, so unhide this section mark. Okay, then you need to click on that, then add section here. So you need to show up to here, right? And where is section? So right click and say go to view, right? So first of all, set your section 1:10, set then fine, okay, and then hide all the line reference level category. Okay, so you need to just give up to here, and this is also. Then you don't need to show any other information. We need to show only column and slab, right? So we will cover is the break line here because C1 is different location. Okay, and say hide by category. So this is my, and then also hide this grid. Okay, so this is my C1 and I want to represent here. So first of all, you need to show the hatch element and then cut patterns. Then you can use this. Okay, and you can use this concrete. Okay, and apply. So here I want to convert this half tone because this is my concrete steel drawing. So concrete element I want to show in half tone. Okay, so you can see here. So this is my section B. So you can use section A also for steel and concrete different. Okay, so I will add here B. So you can maintain, you can just use the steel for A, B, C, and concrete is also A, B, C, same. Okay, so suppose, okay, because we have already used section A for concrete, that's the reason I will use the B. But if you working on steel first, so you can assign A, B, C. Okay, then this section you need to add here. So just drag here. Okay, so you can see. Then you can just modify. So we have already added the here what we'll say break line. Okay, so you can copy this break line. So we have added. So try to give same break line at all locations. Control C, and you need to add here a break line. Control V. Okay, so I want to add the break line. So just minimize. Right. Okay, and then you can mirror in opposite direction. Okay, like that. So this select both the break lines and make it in half tone. My elements and say half tone and say okay. Right. Then same break line you can use for this column. Okay. So if I cut a section here, so you need to show this bolt also here. So in if you go to the here insert and say load family and you need to show here bolt family in 2D only. So you can use this. Okay, so I will go here annotation. Let's see, I will try structural, then here reinforcement. So these are all reinforcement related. Okay, so you need to check in different. Okay, I will try to show in detail. Yeah, detail items and in steel. General concrete materials, metal, sorry, material in metals we need to show. Yeah, you can see the bolts here. Okay, so you can see this is bolt side. Okay, so what I do, I will use this. So you can choose the different bolt size. Yeah, this one, right? So this is anchor bolt. So click here, open, then go annotation, then component and detail component. Okay, so you can see this is your bolt. So what is the bolt dimension? So our bolt is 84 mm from the base. Okay, okay, I will check again. I have given the wrong dimension here. So this should be from your edge of the base plate, not edge of the column. Okay, so it's a 94. So what is the size is 16. So if I click, so you can use 16, right? So you can see this change the size and it should be 94 from the base plate. So move by 94, right? And then you can just set here, right? And what is the embedment length? You can just set here. So 160 or 150 or 200. Suppose I will add here 200 embedment depth inside the slab. So you can just add up to here, right? And just delete and then mirror opposite direction. Okay, and then you can give your annotation. So this is your C1. Remove the leader. Then if you have already covered all the information in the plan, so don't repeat again here. So you can just say here ground base plate. Okay, so just say here base plate. So if you want to see the size, so you can just see in plan, but don't repeat here. So you can just see here base plate. Then you can see you can show the grout. Okay, so what is the thickness? You can find in elevation. Okay, like that. Then okay, so here 4M16 anchor bolt information we have covered here. So you can give here in only anchor bolt with embedment depth. Anchor bolts with 200 mm embedment depth. Okay, so you can see. Then you can add the arrow on this. Okay, so then you can use this slab. You can use the refer to floor slab drawings for details. So if you want to see the slab details, so you can just go to the floor slab drawings. Then you can remove this frame and you can add the arrow. Okay, so you need to just add connection details here. So this is for base plate. Then you you need to add connection details for uh, similarly you can add for C2, right? Then C3, right? So all base plate you need to cover. Then after that you need to go here roof. So in roof you need to cover these bracing connections, then these rupture connections. Okay, so tomorrow we will see this remaining connection how to give here. So I think we should stop for today. If you have any question, any doubt, so you can ask. No question. Okay, then see you in tomorrow's session. So we will see the remaining connection how to create. Okay, so we have one reference project drawing, so I will share on that. Okay, so thank you guys. Good night. See you in tomorrow's session.